Let me be brutally honest with you. If you're an older woman and you've noticed your vision getting blurrier by the day, struggling to read the tiny print on your medication bottles, squinting at your phone, or feeling unsafe driving at night, you are not alone. But here's the truth. No one tells you. Your vision decline isn't just aging. It's often the silent result of years of nutritional gaps, small daily oversights, and habits you never knew could harm your eyes. You've probably been told there's nothing you can do except wear stronger glasses every year. That's a lie. Your eyes can still heal, but only if you know how to feed them the right way. And the clock is ticking. Every month you wait could mean more damage that's harder to reverse. Today, I'm going to reveal the science-backed ways to help restore clarity to your vision. Starting tonight, and I'll share the stories of women just like you who took control and saw real results. For decades as a doctor, I've seen women in their 50s, 60s, and even late 70s walk into my clinic with the same concerns. Doctor, my eyes just aren't the same. Some describe trouble focusing on their grandchildren's faces. Others admit they've stopped reading the books they love because the words dance and blur on the page. The emotional toll is immense. Vision isn't just sight. It's independence, confidence, and connection to the world. When a woman tells me she avoids night drives because headlights turn into exploding stars, she's not talking about a minor inconvenience. She's describing the shrinking borders of her freedom. And when someone confesses she's embarrassed at the pharmacy because she can't read her own medication label without pulling out a magnifier, she's telling me her dignity feels threatened. I hear these stories every week, and I want you to know 2 things can be true at once. Age changes the eyes, and yet you still have leverage. You can nourish the living tissue of your eyes in ways that support clarity, comfort, and resilience, often more than you've been led to believe. I remember Helen, a 67-year-old retired teacher. She came to me nearly in tears because she could no longer comfortably knit, a hobby she had cherished for over 40 years. What we found wasn't a mysterious disease, but a predictable pattern: macular strain, surface dryness, and a long, quiet slide in the very nutrients that keep the retina and tear film functioning smoothly. Her story mirrors so many others. For years, she cooked for her family with love, but grabbed whatever was quick for herself: toast for breakfast, crackers for snacks, and a light dinner without the fats and minerals her eyes were quietly begging for. When we shifted her routine, especially in the evening, things changed. We built a small, sturdy ritual: ground flax and chia for plant omega-3s, pumpkin seeds for zinc, sunflower seeds for vitamin E. She took them about an hour before bed with warm herbal tea, swapped some ultra-processed sweets for a piece of fruit, and dimmed the lights earlier to tell her brain it was safe to wind down. Within weeks, her night glare softened, the sandy feeling in her eyes eased, and she sat back under her favorite lamp and knit again. "It feels like I got a part of my life back," she told me, and that sentence still gives me goosebumps. Let's talk about why something as humble as a seed can matter so much. Your eyes are tiny, high-performance organs with one of the highest metabolic demands in the body. Photoreceptors in the retina fire all day, translating light into signals your brain can read. And that constant work creates oxidative byproducts, like exhaust from an engine. Antioxidants are the cleanup crew, and fats are the building blocks of the wiring insulation around cells. When you're short on those tools, the cleanup slows and the insulation thins. Over time, glare increases, focus slows, and the surface of the eye feels irritated. This is why nutrients matter, and it's also why the evening window is so strategic. While you sleep, your eyes are exposed to darkness instead of bright stimuli, and cellular repair can take center stage. If bedtime delivers the raw materials, antioxidants, healthy fats, minerals, your eyes can use them while the rest of you rests. Seeds pack a lot into a small space. Flax and chia deliver alpha-linolenic acid, a plant omega-3 that supports the delicate oil-producing glands along your eyelids. When those glands are fed, your tear film gets a smoother, more stable oily layer, which slows evaporation and reduces burning and blurriness. Sunflower seeds are naturally rich in vitamin E, a fat-soluble antioxidant that shelters the fragile lipid components of your tear film and lens from oxidative wear. Pumpkin seeds offer zinc, a mineral your retina needs to move vitamin A where it belongs, helping form visual pigments that let you see in low light without harsh glare. And because seeds also bring fiber and plant compounds along for the ride, they support steadier nighttime blood sugar, a quiet gift to the tiny blood vessels that nourish the retina. If you've been told nutrition can't touch age-related vision changes, I want you to challenge that story. Nutrition won't replace cataract surgery when it's needed, and it won't undo structural disease on its own, but it absolutely influences comfort, night vision, recovery from daily stress, and how fast age-related changes progress. In my clinic, I've watched women who felt stuck on a conveyor belt toward thicker lenses and dimmer evenings discover they still had a say in the matter. The key is to think less about miracle foods and more about a steady supply line, night after night, of the stuff your eye cells crave. Maria, a 72-year-old grandmother from Texas, is another woman I think about often. Gardening was her happy place, but she found herself cutting sessions short because the sun felt brutal and her vision went foggy after just an hour. She assumed the only answer was surrender. We had a different plan. She trimmed back the processed snacks that spiked and crashed her blood sugar, added a small evening bowl with ground chia and flax blended into unsweetened yogurt, sprinkled roasted pumpkin and sunflower seeds on top, and sipped chamomile in place of late-night cola. She also wore a wide-brimmed hat and switched to amber-tinted glasses outdoors to calm some of the glare while her eyes recalibrated. Months later, she walked into my office glowing. She could stay in the garden, feel comfortable, and, this part surprised even her optometrist, her vision test had stabilized instead of sliding. Stabilization may not sound dramatic, but for many women, it's the difference between confidence and resignation. The deeper science here is empowering rather than intimidating. Your tear film, the whisper-thin layer that coats and protects the cornea, has 3 parts: a mucus layer that lets tears spread evenly, an aqueous layer that hydrates, and an oil layer that seals moisture in. Menopause shifts hormones in ways that can reduce both aqueous production and oil quality, which is why so many women report new dryness, scratchiness, or a gritty sensation after 50. Omega-3 fats from seeds support the meibomian glands that produce that vital oil layer, and vitamin E helps protect the oils from oxidizing. Meanwhile, inside the eye, zinc helps with the chemistry of night vision. Vitamin A participates in forming rhodopsin, your low-light visual pigment, and plant antioxidants help soak up oxidative stress. None of this is magic. It's basic maintenance. If the engine is high performance, you feed it clean fuel at the right times. Nighttime matters for another reason. Your body's master clock uses light and darkness to choreograph repair. In the evening, melatonin rises, inflammatory noise tends to quiet, and cells take advantage of the lull to patch membranes and clean up metabolic clutter. If you give your system what it needs, nutrients, hydration, cooler and dimmer light, and enough hours horizontal, it can do its best work. That's why timing the seed ritual before bed is so elegant. Think of it as packing a lunchbox for your eye's night shift. And no, you don't have to be perfect. If you miss a night, you haven't failed. What matters is the trend across weeks and months. How do you make this practical without turning your evening into a project? Keep it simple and repeatable. Store pre-ground flax and chia in an airtight container in the fridge to protect their delicate oils. Lightly roast pumpkin and sunflower seeds on a dry pan until just fragrant. Then let them cool and keep a small jar by the kettle. About 1 to 2 tablespoons total is plenty for most women. Think a small handful, not a cereal bowl. Stir the ground seeds into unsweetened yogurt or kefir if you tolerate dairy, or into a spoon of applesauce if you prefer dairy-free. Sprinkle the roasted seeds on top for crunch. Drink a glass of water or warm herbal tea alongside. That's it. The ritual should feel like care, not punishment. If you're sensitive to fiber, build up slowly over a week or two so your digestion keeps pace. And if you're on medications like blood thinners, or you've been told to restrict certain minerals, bring your doctor into the conversation. Personalization is not a luxury, it's smart medicine. There's another lever you can pull without much effort. Reduce what works against your vision. Highly processed sweets and refined carbs that surge blood sugar also surge oxidative stress in the microvessels feeding the retina. Deep-fried foods add oxidized fats that your tear film does not appreciate. Heavy nightly salt dehydrates tissues and can make morning eyes feel puffy and tight. When women replace a late cookie or chips with a seed bowl in tea, they're not just adding good, they're subtracting a little harm. That double effect often shows up surprisingly fast, as less sandpaper in the morning and fewer halos at night. I'll never forget Ellen, 75, who told me after just a few months of these changes, "I'm not afraid to drive at night anymore." To her, that meant saying yes to a last-minute dinner with friends, visiting her sister across town after sunset, and not dreading an early winter evening. When your vision feels steadier, your life gets bigger. That's the point of all of this. Living fully, not obsessing over rules. Some women ask me, if seeds are so helpful, do I need anything else? Seeds are a potent anchor, but they work best in the context of a few gentle habits that support your eye's nightly workload. Give yourself at least an hour of screen light dimming before bed. Blue heavy light late at night keeps your brain alert and can make the eyes feel strained. A warm compress over the eyelids for 1 to 2 minutes in the evening helps melt and express the natural oils from those meibomian glands so they don't stagnate. Keep a steady bedtime and aim for enough sleep. Repair is dose-dependent. And don't forget hydration. Tears are mostly water. If you've barely sipped all day, your eyes will tell on you. What about results and timelines? I coach women to look for early wins in 2 to 4 weeks. Less scratchiness, fewer burning episodes, and a little less glare from headlights. Over 6 to 12 weeks, the changes often feel more structural. Smoother reading sessions, steadier focus, and a sense that the eyes bounce back better after a long day. These aren't promises. They're patterns I've seen repeatedly when women make the changes and keep them. The most satisfying visits in my practice are the follow-ups where a patient shrugs, almost casually, and says, "I didn't realize how much of my day I'd given up until I got parts of it back." It's also important to say this clearly. Nutrition and lifestyle are partners, not replacements for medical care. Keep your appointments. If you develop sudden new floaters, flashes of light, or a dark curtain in your vision, seek urgent care. Those are red flags for retinal trouble that demand immediate attention. If your dryness is severe or you have chronic conditions like diabetes, work with your eye care professional to tailor your plan. Your effort and your doctor's expertise belong on the same team. If you've read this far, I suspect you're already the kind of woman who shows up for herself and for others. You don't need scare tactics. You need a map and a nudge. Here's the map. Your eyes are alive. They respond to what you feed them and when. Evening is a powerful window because repair is at its peak. Flax and chia deliver the right fats to stabilize your tear film. Sunflower seeds shield fragile lipids with vitamin E. Pumpkin seeds help your retina use vitamin A efficiently. Rotate them, combine them, make it pleasant, and let time do its work. Pair the ritual with a little less sugar, a little less fryer oil, dimmer lights after dinner, a warm compress, and consistent sleep. That's the nudge. Tonight, take one small step. Choose one seed. Set out a little bowl and a spoon. Grind the flax and chia, or open the jar of roasted pumpkin and sunflower seeds you prepped over the weekend. Stir them into something you enjoy. Sit down. Breathe. Tell yourself this is not a chore. It's a gift to the woman you'll be in the morning and next year and 5 years from now. Tomorrow night, do it again, and the next. Within a few weeks, pay close attention not just to what you see, but how you feel. More energy because you're sleeping better. More confidence because driving after dusk isn't a negotiation. More joy because the small details of a face or a flower come back into crisp relief. If this message speaks to you, pass it to a friend, a sister, a neighbor from church, the woman in your book club who keeps making excuses about night meetings. The story we've been told, eyes get worse, and there's nothing you can do, is incomplete. Together, we can write a better one, where aging includes wisdom, tenderness, and yes, clearer, more comfortable sight. Your vision is precious. It deserves your attention and your care. Start tonight, keep going, and let your world stay as big and bright as your life has earned.